So the next question is, what is the most effective setting for me to have intimate conversations with the kids? And secondly, what does it make me think of? For our kids, it was like looking for the moments that they wanted to talk and capitalizing on it. And this only happened when they had a question or if they wanted to talk. So two of our kids, their best time was bedtime. And I sometimes wondered if that was just because they didn't want to go to bed and wanted to stay up late. But there also, it was when we did find out a lot of different things that were going on in their lives during that time. So did have some merit. And the other one was when we drove to and from all of their activities and music and sports and stuff like that. And I think it was because I had to keep my eyes straight ahead and not looking at them, and that they found a little bit more comfortable to be actual talk. When a Bible verse caught my attention, I would quite often write a note and leave it on their pillow and let them read it on their own time. And I found that today, now that our kids are all grown up, that's still my favorite way of communicating something. If I want to invite or have an idea for doing something with the family, for me it's better to write it on an email so that the parents and the family have a chance to talk it over and not feel pressured to answer on the phone. For myself, I was the oldest of 6 kids, and in our family there was rarely a time for intimate conversations because of the size of the family, and unless it was a disciplinary thing where we would be taken aside. But we were at church anytime the doors open. My dad had a radical salvation happen to him, and he just couldn't get enough of taking us there. So I do remember a lot about the inside of that church. And one of the things I would never forget, I always thought I was so clever because I figured this out, but it was not really that huge now that I think about it. But anyway, I remember going up the stairway, and on the wall there was this huge saw blade, and because that was a mill town, Campbell River, and so of course that's why the saw blade. And on the saw blade it said, "Where will you spend eternity?" And so I tried to, Dave actually helped me make it. It says that, and see this little center thing? That was we're right over the opening. So it's pretty impressive.
Does it have to be closer? It's okay.
Okay, so that's what I remember. And the other thing that I really remember as still to this day, above the doorway of our exit doors of our house, and anytime we moved, that little card came with us. And I think I'm finding out from family members that was something that my dad got online from Oral Roberts at that time, and it was basically saying what Psalm 91, 9 and 10 says: "No evil will conquer you, no plague will come near your home." And I think that was his prayer over our home.
Well, for me, my most effective setting for intimate conversations with our children is different than Carol. Carol and I are apples and oranges. She's the social butterfly, and she can sit across the table from somebody over coffee and have an intimate conversation. Not so me. I just can't do it. In fact, even to this day, if Carol and I double date another couple and we're sitting at a table and the couple is talking to us, even though they're talking to both of us, they look at Carol. So that's not my venue for intimate conversations. So I look back with my kids, and there's 2 favorite ways for me to have intimate conversations with them. One was when they were growing up and we were driving between sports and sitting in the front seat of the car, like Carol said, you're side by side, I'm driving, and at that time you had a captive audience, and that was a good time for talking to your child. Today, with our 8 grandchildren, we have a hot tub in our back patio, and I love sitting with my grandchildren and talking with them there. It's one of my favorite things to do. So those are my 2 favorite venues.
Okay. Number 3. How
Do you stop it in between